Most tennis players don't lose because their opponent is amazing. They lose because of silly mistakes. In today's video, I will show you 5 most common mistakes I see tennis players do. That's why they lose the matches. I will also show you how to correct them, so you can avoid these mistakes. If you're new to this channel, my name is Patrik Broddfelt, a tennis coach in Norway. Mistake number 1 I see is missing too many first serves. We all know the point starts with the serve. So this is a really important shot. I see too many players trying to hit aces or hit as hard as I can. The mistake of that is you will hit a lot of second serves and then your opponent can attack you. So when you're hitting a second serve, the rally point will be a 50-50. But if you make first serve, you will have an advantage of an easier second shot. So make sure you're not hitting your first serve into the net either. Aim high over the net, get some spin in it, so the serve lands deep in the service box. You want to try to aim in this area here. So you get the serve really deep into the service box. Then your opponent has to stay further back and they can't attack you. If you hit too short of a serve, your opponent can attack you and have more angles to work with. So get more first serve in, aim high over the net, so they get deep into the service box. So when you're serving, make sure you're hitting high over the net. So that one is too short, but still got it in. So I put some pressure on my opponent, but you really want it to land deeper. So that serve landed deeper, maybe not the best placement, but it's so deep that your opponent has to take it back here and they can't attack you. This is the biggest mistake I see, having wrong grip maybe, and trying to get for that ace, going everything. So 8 or 10 serves like that, and go second serve, safe one, and your opponent will attack you. The better tactical option is to get your first serve in, even though you're not hitting as hard, somewhere in between. A safe one like that, in the middle of a service box, because your opponent will stand here somewhere when returning. Second serve, they're climbing up the ladder and will attack you and punish you. Mistake number 1 is not making enough first serve into a service box. Aim high over net, get great depth on the serve, and you will win more service games. The second biggest mistake I see is missing returns. As I said, serve and return starts the point. Doesn't matter how beautiful your forehand and backhands and volleys look. If you can't hit a serve or can't return a serve, you won't win in the matches. So rule number 1, get every service return in to the tennis court. What you have to do when you're returning is, if it's really fast serve, difficult serve, and you get to balls and strings, it has to go inside the tennis court. So what I want you to do is just block it into the service court. So you're in a ready position, split step, and aim into the middle. Just blocking your ball back. Yes, it might look easy, but your opponent has to hit a good shot to punish you. And what happens many times is that they miss that first one and you're up 15-love. No, it's pressure on the server. So make as many returns as possible into the court. Aim for the middle. The net is low in the middle. You get bigger court to aim for. So if you miss it, it might still go in. So I have a split step and I'm aiming for middle. I miss it a little bit. It still goes in, and that's might be a winner as well, because It landed short into the backhand, and I mean to it. So aim deep in the middle. The better you are, the deeper you should aim into the middle here. If you're a beginner, aim somewhere around here in the middle. You don't have to aim back here. I promise you, you will win more return games. Number one, always aim into the middle. You can also go cross court. That's the safest path. So if out here, aiming cross court to your return, you will be in a good position for the next shot. If you hit down the line, you will spread a lot of balls outside the singles line, and that's a really stupid mistake. You're giving away a free point. So aim to the middle, cross court. Second serve, when you're up here, you can attack a little bit more down the line or sharper angle cross court. But the serve has to be easy. What I also can do, first serve is not that good, but they hit it into the middle of the service box. So a split step, and I go around here. Then I take the ball on the inside. Then I can go to the backhand corner. That's a safe shot as well. But if you're standing here and have to go to the outside of the ball, aim to middle, cross court. If you're up 40 love, 4-0, yes, then you can go for the bigger shot. But don't do it at 3-all, 30-40, 40-30, and so on. Make sure to do it when you're up. But don't do it the whole time, because suddenly your opponent has won a couple of games and it's 4-3, and then you have to, the momentum changed, and then you have to bring it even again. So that's also dangerous. Third mistake. Let's go to the rally game. You have a hit your serve, you have a hit your return, and now the point starts out. And every time you get a ball into the middle here, you're standing behind the baseline somewhere around here and hitting. A big mistake I see then is hitting into the net. You should never ever hit into the net when you're standing back here. Make sure you're aiming higher over the net. Don't try to hit flat shots here, because either it will land into the net or it will land short and the opponent can punish you. If you want to hurt your opponent, you want to get great depth on the ball. If you're aiming high over the net, the longer the ball will be. Secondly, you want to push them back or make them hit high up here. Don't hit flat into the striking zone, because then the ball will be as hard or even harder return back. So make sure you hit outside their comfort zone, not into the strike zone. So mistake number 3 was hitting too many shots into the net. Fourth mistake is when you're standing here behind the baseline in the middle, trying to aim far out and missing outside the singles line. You should never ever miss outside the singles lines when you're standing back here. I try to mark up the court. So if I had a piece of paper or something, you will see this angle here will be 19 degrees. Yeah, I know it looks a little bit crooked now, but you get the point. So it's really difficult for me to hit outside. So I don't understand how people can miss outside the singles line when standing back here taking a ball. It's like a third mistake. You should aim in the middle, deep. So you want to aim deep into the middle, high over the net, push your opponent back. If you're on a little bit higher level, you can aim your shot a little bit towards your backhand to your opponent or the forehand when standing here. But aim deep and don't aim close to the singles line. So you should aim in this area here or here. Okay, so you aim for the backhand, you aim for the forehand side. So that's how you manage balls back here on a neutral spot. If you even further back where the camera stands, you have less angles. So then you really have to hit up and be high over the net into the middle. So you start the point over, and then you can start your tactics again, your patterns on how to win your point. Mistake number 5. That's when you pressure out into one of the corners and you're hitting down the line. You shouldn't change direction when you're pressured out to the singles line. Hit it deep, cross court or into the middle. Aim for those spots. Don't hit down the line. That's not the right time to hit down the line. What I mean by that is when you're out here, you're outside the singles line. I see too many players trying to get that down the line here. I was lucky. And hitting like that. You should aim that ball into the middle, cross court, and start over again. The reason why as well is when you're out here, hitting down the line, your opponent will hit cross court and you have to defend again. So you have to run a long distance. If you're hitting that cross court, your opponent has to change direction and make that dumb mistake. So make sure you get that ball back into the middle cross court area to stay alive in the point. Well, when should you go down the line? That's when you're inside the baseline. So if a ball lands here, somewhere or even shorter, and you can step inside the baseline and taking it on inside here, that's the time to hit down the line, aim lower over the net. Don't do it back here, especially when you're outside the singles line. Always defend cross court or into the middle. Okay, so let's recap. Mistake number 1, missing too many first serves. Make sure you get your first serves into the service box. Mistake number 2, missing too many returns. If a ball are on your strings, make sure you get it over into the court and put pressure on the opponent to make a mistake. Third mistake is when you're standing behind the baseline, hitting shots into the net. Aim high over the net, 3 feet over the net. When standing here in the middle, you're trying to go for winners by placing them close to the single lines. Don't do that. Make sure you're aiming more towards the middle or into B or C area. The 5th mistake is when you're under pressure, you're trying to go down the line. Make sure you're aiming cross court or deep into the middle and start the point over again. If you avoid those 5 mistakes, I promise you, you will win more tennis matches. So those are easy fixes. Go out and practice to be more consistent and you will win more matches. Until then, I'll see you next time.